see that it says I'm live, click it and let me know.
Talk.
Oh, I didn't know you had it on there. All right, just go out there in the hallway and see, can you hear me?
Hey, it's not even.
Okay, so you
yeah.
can hear me.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right,
What are you gonna do to get off? Yeah.
just close it.
Oh, it'll go out.
There you go.
Thanks.
No problem. Thank you for your help.
No problem.
You could just close that for me.
All the way?
Yeah. Thank you. All right, so apparently, I was live and I was talking for 15 minutes and people said they couldn't hear me. So I just audio checked on another phone and I have audio, so here I am. I don't personally care. See, that's where the devil's got me confused, and anybody else who wants to speak ill in my turn all that negative energy back to the sender. I rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus. I don't got time for all that weird stuff. All that negative energy people want to shoot my way. I don't have time for it. I really don't. I make a live and there's no audio. I make another recording, it cuts off. It's not going to stop me. It's about the message, and stuff like that happening just makes me get over my own self. It makes me get over my ego quicker because then I cop an attitude. And see, that's why I'm your shadow walker. So, hi, I'm Ice. I'm your shadow walker, and welcome to the ShadowRealm, where when I cop an attitude, I seem to channel easier, channel better. Well, I don't have a problem. And in my last live, what I was talking about was boundaries. And here I go gatekeeping again. And I'm not gatekeeping this time. I was sitting outside. You know, I woke up early this morning. I had a good rest, and you know, I cooked some food for some people in the building. And when I was done, I went outside and smoked. And I was sitting there, and I heard, you know, why are you gatekeeping the message again? And I had to laugh because I said, listen, I'm not gatekeeping. I'm trying to put it into what's good. Welcome to the ShadowRealm. I'm your shadow walker. My name's Ice. I'm not gatekeeping. I'm trying to put into perspective the message, the downloads that I get when I get them. Because, you know, if I don't have the opportunity to be able to go live and deliver the message, or the message is coming to me, the downloads coming to me, you know, I'm at the point where I'm not quite sure is what am I supposed to do with the information? What am I supposed to do with the download? You know, when you receive information, when, you know, when you're an empath, when you're a seer, when you know things, some people readily do not accept that. You're crazy as far as they're concerned, until whatever you happen to say happens, and or until you start talking to them, and they say, wait a minute, how do you even know that information? Because I do. And for those that are watching, forgive my smugness. It's not. My last live, I was, you know, I was nervous. I was being calm, cool, and collected, and then I got interrupted. And if you feel that I'm stupid, you could leave my live, but you happen to be here, so keep bringing that energy. You don't understand where you're at. You're in the shadow realm, and your negativity fuels me to be able to pump out my messages. And my message this time happens to be for the chosen. It's about protecting your armor. It's about minding your business. It's about what part of the assignment are we on now. And a lot of the chosen that are waking up, you're going through situations, you're going through identity issues, you're going through homelessness, you're going through addiction issues, you're going through family situations, you got legal issues that you're wrapping up. You've served your time. You're in the end stages. I'm not talking about the people that, currently have court or keep doing things to get themselves, in a situation. That's not who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the people who have walked a path of negativity, who have walked the path of harm doing, have walked the path of trauma, have walked the path of abuse, and have worked so hard to fix themselves and the things that go on around them for better, hence going towards the light. And a lot of people who know me say, like, how exactly, Ice, do you plan to do that? And you don't always think so positive. In some situations I do, and in most situations I don't. I always think worst case scenario. Oh, look at that. 222. But at the end of the day, people saying things to me like that started making me think negatively about what it is that I'm trying to do. What exactly? How could I, a person who's lived the type of life that I have, and now I'm talking about the people who actually know me. How could I possibly be a chosen one? So I started questioning myself, and I started questioning the message, and I started questioning the things that were going on around me. And, am I crazy? And what are these signs? And what are these angel numbers? And what are these synchronicities? And, do I need mental health help? Or what is going on? And for those of you who know, I was homeless previously. I'd gotten an apartment, my marriage went corrupt and I moved on with life, and I got another relationship that was grand, and then I found out that man was married, and then my ex-husband shows back up, and went on a cross-country trip from the East Coast to the West Coast, made it to the middle of no fucking where America, just to be here in New York, my hometown, the place that I absolutely try my best to get away from. Why am I here? Why am I homeless again? Why did my marriage, which was already over and I tried to reconcile, why is that completely over? Nobody gets married to get divorced. And yeah, I'm capable of moving on and having another relationship if that's what I so choose to want to do. But when you're at this point, chosen, we're above all that. We're above it. I've moved on from going in circles. I only have forward movements. And then when you have to take that step back, or you get set back one step, you start to second guess yourself again. And I'm here to tell you that is not the assignment. The assignment is to be still. The assignment is not to stop helping people. And by now you're starting to realize that, this is a big assignment. I'm supposed to worry about the people when I need help too. If you don't understand what the goal is, then you're in the wrong place. If you're still here, perhaps maybe you might be chosen yourself. You came here for a reason, unless you're just bored. But the longer you stay, you start to understand. This is the Shadow Realm. I'm your shadow walker. And I am a chosen person who is having a hard time understanding at this part of the journey, what is it that I am supposed to be doing? Why is it that no matter how many steps forward, I'm not being pushed backwards at this point? I'm just not getting in that next box. And I have all these people around me who need my help, who need my message. A shadow walker is a person who's lived a life of negativity, who's lived in the shadows. I've lived in lies, deceit, manipulation, I've lived in violence, I've lived in abuse, I've lived in addiction, and all those things have taken a toll on my life. I've been in jail, I've done crazy, wild things, I've been homeless, I've lost my family, I gained my family. What is my goal? My goal here is that I realized I was on a spiritual journey. I realized that I was having a spiritual awakening. I realized that I have spiritual gifts. And that's what the shadow realm is to help people like me get to a better place. Understand. We need people to talk to us the way that we need people to talk to us, that understand the things that we go through. The majority of the people in the world, do things in either by black or by white, and there's some that live in the gray. We don't ever live in the gray. We, my collective, my soul tribe, things with us are very black and white. You will or you won't, you do or you don't. There's no maybe, there's no possibilities. There's rewards and there's consequences. There's no gray area for people like my soul tribe, for people in my collective. There's no gray, just black and white. And if you have a problem with what I'm saying, again, you're in the wrong place, but you still seem to be here. So you're bringing energy to my channel. And I appreciate you for that. See, that's what part of walking through the shadows is, because you don't know me. I'm a verbal assassin, but I've grown. So I know what comes along with having a YouTube channel. I understand completely that people are going to have a lot of things to say, negative, positive, or otherwise. All you're doing is generating energy to my channel, and I appreciate you for that. So you could keep comments, and I'll move along. But right now, it's people testing our boundaries and knowing what is the assignment, and helping people. And you're getting to a point, chosen, that you're saying, I don't want to help nobody no more. What am I supposed to do? They don't listen. They don't take the advice. You're taking my time to ask me questions. You're taking my time for me to help you, to assist you, and then you don't follow through, and now we're getting aggravated. And that compounded with all the things that we're going through in our own lives. And now we're getting to a level of frustration, and a boundary is being crossed. And I need you guys to understand. I need you to wake up and understand it's not them crossing the boundary, it's you crossing the boundary. And the boundary is you're not understanding this part of the assignment, nor did I. And it took for another person to rein me in and let me know you are in a spiritual war. You are in a battlefield. But have you thought about your armor? That's what this is about right now. That's your transition. Your time will come. What's coming for you is going to come for you. But right now, you're in a holding pattern because it's time for you to worry about you, not to stop helping people, not to stop being there for people, to stop over giving. It's time to give back to yourself. And right now, for those that are chosen, and we know we're in a spiritual war, it's time for you to protect your armor. It's time for you to sit down. Anybody who has a weapon knows you have to clean your weapon. Anybody who, has protective gear knows you have to do certain things to take care of your protective gear so that it does what? Protects you. And we need to protect ourselves. We need to do our spiritual cleansings. We need to take time to meditate. We need to take time to think a couple of seconds longer. Now, everything don't have to be in a rush and a hurry. But these battles that we have coming for us next, the unknown, the unknown. We all know what it is that we want. And a lot of us know how to go and get it. But do we know how to go and get it the right way? That's what a lot of us don't know. And a lot of us who've changed up the way that we were living life, and we get up every day and we go to work instead of get up every day and go sell drugs. We get up every day and we take care of our children, and all the things that are productive in society, as they say. We're not outside committing crimes, flim flam skim scamming people, as I call it. We're not outside doing that. We're getting up every day and being productive. And now that we know that we're on this journey, you start to realize what brought you here, and the changes that you started to go through. And for me, what woke me up was going through the ending of what I thought was like the relationship that I've been asked God for. Send me somebody who is built for me. Send me somebody who can match my energy. Send me somebody who can handle me when I get to acting crazy. Send me somebody who can put me in my place. Send me, when you're talking to God, when you want something, all the things you say. And when you think God works for Build-A-Bear. And it's, come on now. All the things we ask for. But yeah. And when that went upside down and I found out the truth of that, that's what woke me up. That's when I started realizing. I started spending some time to myself, and I started receiving my spiritual downloads, and I started realizing that my life was on a different path. And even today, I was sitting there outside smoking a cigarette, and I started thinking about it, and I was like, yo, when I was younger, I went to church regularly. I was in church groups and stuff like that. Hell, I was a Girl Scout at one point in time. I used to play an instrument very well. I know how to read music. I know how to write music. All my children are gifted. They don't play instruments. None of us are academically challenged, not at all. I'm not saying that anybody who has, a degree or don't have a degree, or a diploma or don't have a diploma, how you get your education doesn't always come from a book. I just happen to be educated from the streets, and I also happen to be educated in the books. And life is a learning lesson. Every day you're learning something. Come across people, you learn something new. Needless to say, here I am, I was on that cross country journey, and now I'm in New York, and I'm in the shelter. And I started stressing out the other day, like, oh my God, I've been here for over a month now, and finding an apartment was not supposed to be this hard. And it wasn't supposed to be all that. When I got here, I should have had a place to be able to live at, and that's not what happened. And now I'm in a shelter, a place I didn't want to go in before. And I was talking to another chosen, and they said, I can see where you've been, and I can see what you've been through. And the question that you have to ask yourself now is, do you realize where you are now? And they brought about the fact of the shelter that I'm currently in is a protected building. It used to be a fallout shelter. It still has signs on the building that say fallout shelter. This is a very structurally safe building. And it's next door to a mosque learning center, and they have daily prayer. And I got placed here just before Ramadan started. So every day, all day, I hear prayers. Down the block, at the end of the block, is a Catholic school and in a Catholic church. And she said to me, you know, God is asking you how you want it. You won't go in none of these buildings, so you're gonna hear the message. You're going to see the signs, and it's going to push you. But where were you before when you were placed, you know, when you were homeless before, what, and you went to the shelter? Where were you placed at? And I had to stop and think. And one place was across from a cemetery, another place was by a courthouse. Sometimes we were in churches. One time we were, you know, placed in a building that was supposed to be a temple, but it was their business center. And it was in grad school housing neighborhood. Isn't that odd for shelters in some of those places? And to think now, when I got my assignment, I was supposed to go to the Y, and the only Y that I was aware of is, you know, I'm in Binghamton, New York, so the Y is downtown, and that one is across the street from a family courthouse and City Hall. And when I went to go get admission, they said, no, you're at the wrong place. There's a new place across the bridge. And, you know, I found where I'm supposed to be at, and here I am. And I was listening to her when she was talking, and I was like, I'm understanding now, but I'm not fully grasping the point. And that's what I said earlier when I heard here I'm gatekeeping. I'm not. I was trying to understand the message. And the message is how do you want it? Where do you want to be? And I want to be on this spiritual path, and I want to understand, am I ready to walk into a church for a church service? No. I have an Islamic chain around my neck. I've been Muslim. I've been in a Baptist church. I went to revivals. I've been in the parking lot of the mosque. I'm just being honest. In my adult life, I'm not going into these buildings. Why? Because in my childhood, something spiritual happened to me, and I didn't understand. And you know, everybody's gonna say, oh, you got the Holy Ghost, and you know, God took over your body, spirit took over your body. And what does that mean? I was a kid. Was I possessed? What happened? Why all of a sudden know things and see things and hear things? And I went to church and I became crazy? Is that what you're trying to tell? I don't know. I don't understand why when you're inside these buildings and you're hearing the word of God, do you get this feeling? I didn't understand it. And I'm a person who likes to be in control issues. If you're still here wanting to know what a shadow walker is, it's doing the work to be a better person, to get to a better place. So yeah, part of my control issues, I need to be in control of myself. You mean the Holy Spirit can just jump in my body and now come on now. That was, as a child, that was too much for me. And now here I'm an adult, and a couple months ago, I heard myself saying, I want to go to church. My family was like, are you okay? You have a temperature? You feeling all right? What are you talking about, church? Why are you even talking about a church? You're a Muslim. I don't know. Then I started talking about God, and my kids again was like, what are you talking about, God? Isn't it Allah? What is happening right now? And when I was Muslim, could I make prayer 5 times a day? No. Did I read the Quran during Ramadan? No. Have I read the whole entire Bible? No. Do I go in the church? No. Do I go in the mosque? No. What's my issue with going in there? Submission. Submission. Why I have to go through all of this? Why do I have to go through all of these positions? Why do I have to be on the floor? Why do I have to control issues? And then I told myself, I don't need to go into any of these buildings. How do I even know what the person who's up there talking about is living a righteous life? And we get caught up in asking all these questions, and then we see in the news with the propaganda, some negative thing done happen in the name of the church, and now there's a bad taste in people's mouths, and you get a bad taste for God. And it's not God, it's the people. So no, I don't need to go into nobody's building. When it's time for me to go inside of one of these holy buildings, I'll be drawn to go into one of these holy buildings. And it's the month of Ramadan, respectfully. If I was drawn to read the Quran, I'm not one of those people that lack discipline 100%. I do, have discipline issues, but I don't lack discipline 100%. If I wanted to sit down and read it, I could and I would. I don't want to. I don't feel the need to. The information I get comes to me because I have a different type of relationship with my higher power, with my God. And that's another thing people of religions need to understand. If you believe in God, stop worrying about, is that person a Baptist? Is that person a Protestant? Is that person a Muslim? Just have respect for God. Period. Dot. Let's start there. And all of this is for the chosen is part of protecting your armor. You have to understand that people think in different ways. People view things in different ways. People's messages all don't come across the same way. And as you start to come into yourself and you start to repair your armor and get ready for these next battles, because that's how I perceive the message. That's how I perceive the download. It's time for me to mind my business, help those that really seek help. Don't overgive of myself. Don't put myself in positions that I already know. I know things. I already know what's going to happen. Now it's going to happen today, tomorrow, next week that I don't know. So chosen, the time is now. The assignment is continuous. But something tells me that we're overreaching. This armor that we need to protect. I don't think that it's about a real battle. We've been in battles our whole life, and now we're in these transitions for what? And we want better, and we're doing better. And sometimes, some of us have backslid a little bit and, try to do something to make the situation easier. And I'm not talking about using substances. I'm talking about when you're a person who's homeless, sometimes you're willing to go backwards and go back to a relationship because you already know the situation and a home is provided to you. People like that, like me currently, I'm not willing to just go be in a relationship with anybody for a home to be provided to me. I'm not willing to just deal with anything. Knowing your worth, learning your worth. You have to learn before you know. And I know my worth. So now I know I'm not willing to put myself into different situations that aren't fitting for me. I'm not going to run out there and just apply for any old job. Love your food, McDonald's, but I'm not gonna come work for you. No, why? It's a stressful situation working at McDonald's. Some people got a lot to go through. And that's real fast food right there. I don't, no, I'm not, my attitude is not built for that. So why would I go apply? I need a job, I need money. Why would I not? Because I'm not setting myself up for failure this go round. And when I've said that before, people, oh no, you're wasting time, or you know, you're just not trying to do what needs to be done, or you don't have the liberty. And you know, I before in the past I believed that I don't have the time. I need to just get to doing what needs to be done. And at one point in time I looked up and was working 4 jobs and I still was getting nowhere. The more I worked, the more money I got, the more I spent it. The more I thought I was happy. I'm in a different place now. So no, I'm not just gonna run out and apply for any job. I'm going to take the time to find jobs that I'm qualified for, jobs that I want to get up and go to every single day. Why? Therefore, I continue to keep my job. Then I'll continue to keep my money. At some point in time, I will get job stability and I will be able to have said, oh, I've been with this place for this time, that time, or the next. Or perhaps maybe that's not even for me. Perhaps just focusing on my YouTube channel as I am, maybe that's what's for me. I don't know. I'm not just gonna go take any living situation. Yeah, is there apartments that are for rent? There are. And some of them have roaches and some of them have bed bugs and some of them are in really horrible neighborhoods. And is it what's within the budget and what's affordable? It is. Am I just gonna run out and do that? I am not. I'm not. And that was what my mentality was, and that was my attitude. And last week somebody said something to me about it and I started stressing. You're right, I don't have the time and I gotta just take whatever option comes up to me. And so, you know, options started popping up. An old friend was like, hey, I have a room. A family member was like, hey, I have a room. An ex was like, hey, come get in my room. Oh, okay. I'll think about it. No. Thought about it. No. And I can stand firmly on my no because you know I had a meeting with the administration to know you know I'm starting to stress out, and because I'm stressing, then you know my boundaries I start to have tighter boundaries and people are crossing my boundaries, and now you know my issues. I don't have drug issues. I have violent tendencies. Those are my issues. I have power and control and violence issues. And I'm really working really hard on those things. And right now I'm in a stressful situation and I'm overworked and I don't know what to do and I don't have the time and my time is out. And they said to me, chill out, calm down. Your time is not out. You're on track for where you need to be. And I said to them, "You don't know me. You just know me on paper." And they said, "No, we've taken the time to get to know you, and you know we're not. ignoring you or not ignoring the situation. Maybe that's how other people feel. But if you utilize and take advantage of the programming that we have to offer and the relations that we have to give, then you'll understand your guard just a little bit. And I did, and for the sake of conversation. And I started to realize, you know what, my time wasn't running out. I wasn't on, they're not going to restrict my housing. I'm not going to come back one day and they're going to say, oh, well, you've been here, you exceeded the time limit. No, the point is to get yourself to a better place. And that's where I'm misunderstood, because I'm in a building with a bunch of other people that have other situations. Like I said, the people that have addiction issues, they have other type of programming. You know, the people that have legal issues, they have other type of programming. And I'm in transitional housing. I have different type of issues, and my goal is to not have to worry about going place to place, not getting a home and it being temporary, or being in a program such as the one that we got our last home in. You have to check in, and they pay the rent, and but they're all in your business and have an issue with the way that you live life, who's in your home and who's coming and going. And no, I need to have a home where I can pay my bills myself. If I had a counterpart, and they could do they 50%, I could do my 50% for the home, and my 100% for me, and hopefully they could do their 100% for them, and we could have a nice, beautiful, loving home. But currently there's just me, so I need to be able to do my 100%. And I want to 100% find a home that I'm going to be comfortable in a neighborhood that I'm going to feel comfortable walking through every day, where I can sit on my porch or go outside or open my windows. I don't want to just move any old where. I don't want to just take a roommate opportunity because I don't want to be here, and I don't want to be here. I don't want to be around a bunch of people that suffer from issues that I don't have. I see the humanity in them, but sometimes their issues be a bit too much for a person who don't have those type of issues. I don't want to wake up to a whole bunch of people every single day. I want to wake up in the comfort of my own bed, in my own bedroom, and comfortably walk out to my kitchen, my living room, my bathroom that I'm not sharing with 100,000 people. That's what I want. And whether my job is going to be this YouTube channel, or I have to get up and go to a place of employment and put my time in there, whatever it is that I'm going to do to earn my money, I want to comfortably, reliably, knowingly, confidently be able to do so. I don't have to worry about anybody else but me. Therein is the message chosen. You have nobody else to worry about but you right now. It's time for you to focus on you. Don't stop helping the people. Just stop over giving. Give more, pour more into yourself. Hey, hey. Welcome to the Shadow Realm. Mind the business that pays you. God gave you these assignments. He's going to bring to you the people that need help, and he's going to bring to you all the obstacles and distractions that you already have been trained to get over, around, and past. Your job now is to be confident in yourself and know, I was trained for that. I've seen it 10 miles away. I know what's coming. And how will you be able to readily be able to see it and not fall into the trap? Because you're going to pour into yourself. You're going to get more rest. You're going to take more time for you. If that means you take longer in your showers, what is it that you like? You like to do your hair, you like to do your nails, you like to shop, not asking you to overspend. What is it that you do to pour into you? That's what it is that you need to worry about doing right now. Protecting your armor is now about protecting yourself, protecting the peace, because something better is coming. Yeah, there's gonna still be those obstacles. Yeah, there's still gonna be those setbacks, but you have been trained to get through it, to get over it, and to get past it. Better things are coming for some of us, and others of us still have some serious battles to go through. Pour into yourself, protect yourself, protect your armor, and prepare for what's coming next. Because that unknown for people like us is scary. And some of us will mess up our blessings because we're scared. Some of us will self-sabotage. So look at it like this. One day you woke up and you understood that you were spiritually chosen person, that things just weren't normal for you anymore, that you knew things somehow, some way. And you're here and you're on this journey and you're accepting it. And you're doing the things that you need to do that are on your path and on your calling for you to get to where you need to be in this spiritual world that we're in. And you could do it. You really can. I know you can because I'm doing it. And it's overwhelming. And that's the stage I'm in right now, learning to mind my business. I put my shield down and I put my sword down. I don't need it. I'm not currently in a war. Yes, I am one of God's soldiers, and I'll always be ready for whatever's going to come my way. But now it's time for me to take care of me. It's time for me to get some rest. It's time for me to take the time and worry about, what's going to make me feel good. If I want to sleep in a little bit longer, then I need to sleep in a little bit longer. If I need to take a nap in the day, if I need to go outside, whatever it is, I need to put me first. And I need to get my mind right and be ready for what's coming for me next. Am I ready? I say I am, but am I? And I don't want you to overthink it. I just want you to breathe and know you've been trained. Been in training your whole entire life. Whatever's coming for you next, you can get through with your shield. This has been another ShadowRealm Live. Thanks for dealing with me for my 43-minute message. And we'll talk again.